Hey guys, OGL Brian here, bringing you guys my week 1 battle of Cap versus my good buddy Blinn and his, I want to say, Canberra Cradilys. I'm pretty sure I butchered that and just said the name completely wrong. But yeah, super cool guy. His link will be in the description. Definitely go check him out. But yeah, let's just jump right into the video. I do want to do a quick little team builder like we do in all our videos, just so you can see my thought process behind building and why I brought the 6 mods I brought, including movesets and EV spreads and stuff like that. So there will be a little timestamp in the description letting you know when the actual battle starts if you do just want to skip ahead to that and see how it goes. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. So looking at Blinn's team, he has a squad with Tapu Koko, Necturna, Colossoil, Mega Diancie, Mollix, Cyclone, Buzzwole, Slowking, Ninjask, and Taxite, with Z users being Tapu Koko, Mollix, and Taxite. And if you did forget or haven't seen our draft analysis video, our team consists of Ash Greninja, Kitsuno, Togekiss, Mega Charizard X, Suicune, Shaman, Nidoqueen, Reuniclus, Pachirisu, and Cottonee, with Z users being Reuniclus, Togekiss, Pachirisu, and Cottonee. But yeah, noticing right off the bat what big threats versus my team are definitely going to be his 2 cat mons, like his 2 main cat mons being the Necturna and the Colossoil. Necturna is terrifying because it has access to having a sketch move, kind of like Smeargle, where it can learn pretty much any move in the game. Which is terrifying in prep, especially in League, because if he is creative enough, there's honestly no limit to what he can do in making that. So he can, run Shift Gear or Shell Smash or run some offensive move to beat a mon that, is supposed to be my defensive check to this thing. So definitely a mon we have to play around very carefully. In Colossoil, that mon kind of just 2-tasks my entire team. Its speed tier isn't the great against everything that I bought, but if it comes in on something slower, it comes in on some weakened stuff, depending on how I build, it could definitely claim one versus me. Has access to Guts and Flame Orb, so in the ground and dark spam is very nice versus me, and even the ones that do resist that do get hit by things like Stone Edge and Facade. So yeah, definitely have to take that into account. The Mega Diancie is pretty scary as well, but as you see, we do check it pretty decently offensively, and we do have some pretty decent pivots into it as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So starting off, we have our Mega Diancie check. We're running Kitsuno. We're running an Assault Vest Kitsuno with the Iron Fist ability. Moveset of U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Shadow Strike, and Earthquake. 168 EVs in HP, 204 in attack, and 136 in speed with a Jolly Nature. So this Kitsuno, like I said, it's our Mega Diancie check. 204 attack. Always knocks out a max HP Diancie with Bullet Punch after Stealth Rocks. I don't think he'll necessarily be max HP, but it's something I want to account for just in case he brought a super bulky one, because he can pretty much always 2-tap us with Earth Power. But the thing is, he does have to predict that Earth Power, and we can still pivot in on stuff like Moonblasts and Power Gems. Diamond Storms aren't 3-8 KOing us with this spread, so we still can't be a decent pivot around. We are carrying good coverage for a good majority of his team in U-Turn, Shadow Strike, and Earthquake. Shadow Strike is a very cool move. I believe it's a cap exclusive move just for Kitsuno. It's I want to say 70 base power. Let's check really quick just so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 80 base power, 95 accuracy, but it has a 50% chance to lower the target's defense, so that can be very clutch, getting some defense drops and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to be Kitsuno. Oh, speed. Totally forgot to talk about the speed. The speed is enough to outspeed Colossus, so we can U-turn out on that thing. If we're at a high amount of health, we do live, switching out a pursuit, and that changes with the mind games and stuff like that. So definitely thought it would be advantageous to outspeed that, so we can U-turn out and get a little bit of chip on it and stuff like that. And then the rest was just throwing the bulk, which is the 168 HP, allowing us to take hits from the Diancie a lot better, and so is other special threats. So yeah, that's going to be Kitsuno, very important pivot this week. Pretty annoying for his team to deal with altogether. So next up, we have Ash Greninja. We're holding a choice spec. We're holding the choice specs with the Battle Bond ability: Dark Pulse, Water Shuriken, U-Turn, Hydro Pump, 16 HP, 252 special attack, and 240 speed with a Intimidator. Now keep in mind, these stats do obviously change once we get a KO and switch it to our Ash Greninja form, and there are a lot of things that we can definitely knock out with just regular Specs Grant on his team prior to getting the thing. Biggest threat to this Greninja is definitely the Mollux. Mollux, if you do not know, it's one of the cat mons. It is a fire and poison type, which you would think, oh, well, Greninja can definitely, just hydro pump that thing into the next dimension, but it has access to dry skin, so being immune to one of my stabs that would have been super effective against it is very nice. It's also very, very bulky on the Spadef side and has access to recover, so it's actually a pretty decent Greninja check. It can check us pretty well, so we do have to chip that thing down, potentially get up with... It's important to get up rocks with one of our teammates later on in the builder, just so we can, whittle that thing down with dark pulses and stuff like that. But yeah, I also have U-turn on this set just for momentum to potentially U-turn out on that Mollux coming in or any other threats. I originally had spikes on here, just like that typical, OU Ashgren set, but I realized that there wasn't much that I really wanted to spike up on. If I did have Ashgren in, I did want to just spam Dark Pulse or click U-turn. Or click Water Shuriken, something like that. There wasn't any instances where I really saw myself clicking spikes, so I decided against it, just in case, especially being choice locked, and if he finds that out and he gets a free switch and stuff like Diancie, and we have a weakened Kitsuno, no bueno, not very good. So yeah, that's going to be the Ashgren. Very good win con late game if we can, get our form, potentially weaken some things. We can definitely spam Dark Pulse, Water Shuriken, even a Hydro Pump or two, provided we hit. But yeah, that's going to be Ashgren. So next up, we have our Nidoqueen. This is going to be our Tapu Koko check. This is why in the team preview, or the roster preview, I said I'm not super worried about the Tapu Koko, just because we have one of the absolute best checks in the game to that thing in Nidoqueen. We're holding the Eye of Papa Berry, Sheer Force ability, Stealth Rocks, Earth Power, Flamethrower, Toxic, 252 HP, 44 special attack, 104 Spadef, and 108 speed with a timid nature. So, this Spadef and HP allows us to live 3 HP ices from a max special attack Tapu Koko. The speed is supposed to outspeed a max speed Necturna, but funny story, you'll see, I don't believe I talked about this in the battle narration and all that stuff, but we played this game on Draft Frontier, and Draft Frontier hasn't really updated any of the nerfs and buffs to Calf that they've done, and they recently nerfed Necturna down to 58 speed. I believe it was at 81 speed before. They nerfed it down to 58 because it was too strong and too fast with stuff like Shift Gear and Shell Smash and stuff like that. So they did nerf it a bit, dropping the speed. And in the calc, that's what it speeds at, so I assumed as much when I was building and did that, but then I played on Draft Frontier just because that's what I usually play all my Showdown League games, and we got in there and I realized that it still had 81 speed on the Frontier server. So that's very scary. We do have to play around that in the game, but at least that was the thought process going into having this Nidoqueen speed right here. It does still allow us to speed a lot more of his bulky mons, potential threats that aren't running very much speed. This Nidoqueen can outspeed. And then the 44 special attack is, it allows us to always OHKO a max HP, max Spadef Mollux after Stealth Rocks. The thing is 4 times weak to ground. It does have great Spadef, so it can potentially eat one from full, but if we do get rocks up, we always knock that thing out. We do 75 min to that every single time. So yeah, that's going to be the Nidoqueen, very important member this week. It's going to be our Rock Root, it's going to be our Tapu Koko check if that mon decides to come. And yeah. So next up, we are going to have our primary win con in Mega Charizard X. Mega Charizard X, obviously the Tough Claws ability, Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, and Roost, 108 HP, 176 attack, 8 defense, 216 speed with a Jolly Nature. So the spread, it's pretty simple. It looks pretty complex just because all the EVs everywhere, but I wanted to utilize the bulk of Mega Charizard X. As you can see, 78 HP, 111 defense, and 85 Spadef is very, very nice. And it allows me to potentially set up on a lot of his starts like Tapu Koko, Necturna, a lot of his scarier stuff. So 176 attack. I did want enough attack to always OHKO a max HP Colossoil with a +1 Flare Blitz. We always knock that thing out if it is, even if it is max HP, if we do get up to +1 with Flare Blitz. So I thought that was a very important benchmark to hit, because if he brings a super bulky one and we're not running very much attack at all, I can't potentially live and revenge us with an Earthquake. So we do have that. Dragon Dance plus Flare Blitz Earthquake hits everything on his team, neutral or super effectively. And Roost is just for longevity. We can Roost up on a lot of his mons just to potentially, boost up, and increase our longevity and stuff like that. If we can get to +2, this Mega Charizard just wins. There's not much his team can do around it. he really struggles with offensive ground type moves and offensive grounds in general. Even though like our Nidoqueen isn't very offensive, he doesn't switch into it well at all. His immunity is an Ninjask, and his resistances don't like coverage moves that these mons with ground type attacks have. So definitely a very, very viable win con. I'm thinking it's going to put in a lot of work this week. And yeah. So next mon is going to be Shaman. Shaman's holding the leftovers with a natural cure ability, Synthesis, Seed Flare, Earth Power, Air Slash, 248 HP, 148 defense, and a 112 speed with a timid nature. So this is going to be our main Colossal check. It has enough speed to always outpace an Adamant Colossal. I lost too much bulk if I was creeping on Jolly. I couldn't switch into it as well. I believe Flame War Facade actually had a chance to kill us after rocks if we just were creeping Jolly Colossal. So I didn't want to, potentially risk that, as we can switch in and pivot around that thing if it, does happen to run Jolly. If it runs Jolly, it's doing significantly less damage. We have a chance to not be two-shot by the thing. If it is, a Jolly set, knockoff does around 50-ish%, but afterwards it doesn't knock us off after, and there is a chance that we can live 2 facades from full. With Shaman, I believe it's like an 18% chance for him to 2-hit KO. So I'll definitely take those odds, in having that extra bulk so we can take those hits a little bit better. Seed Flare hits hits a good majority of his team, especially the Colossal and stuff like the Slow King and things like that. Earth Power is for the Mollux to hit that thing so we're not completely walled by it, and Air Slash is for the Necturna so we are not set of fodder for that thing. We could do a decent chunk to it with the Air Slash depending on his spread. So yeah, the last mon on the team is going to be Togekiss. Togekiss holding the Charity Barrier with the Serene Grace, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, Roost, and Defog. 248 HP, 12 defense, and 248 speed. This is our obligatory defogger. We need to carry defog if we're going to have a Mega Charizard in the back as our win con, because pre-Mega we do take that 50%, and having rocks up on our side of the field is no bueno for that, especially being that it is our best win con and so good against his team. This also serves as a secondary Colossal check. We can always switch in, pivot, take 1 after rocks, and depending on his spread, we could potentially outspeed him. More likely this would serve as more of a revenge killer of sorts. If we are full enough, we can always take the Stone Edge due to the Charity Berry and hit him with the Dazzling Gleam if he is a bit weakened. Even after rocks, we do take those hits, so it is a good, last-ditch effort against that thing. This is mostly going to be our Buzzwole check, though. If Buzzwole does decide to come, it can't really touch this set very well at all. We can always come in, we always outspeed it with our speed investment, and we can knock it out potentially, with Air Slash, as long as it's not like Cobra Berry or something like that. But yeah, that's going to be the team. Let's jump right into the battle. Alright guys, here we are with the battle. So looking at the team that Blinn decided to bring, it looks like he elected to go with the Ninjask, Mollux, Mega Diancie, Colossal, Necturna, and Cyclone, I think is how you say it. But yeah, right off the bat, biggest threats to my team definitely going to be that Colossal and that Necturna. If the Necturna is set up and we let it set up for free, we can essentially just lose the game depending on its coverage and what his sketch move is. So we definitely have to keep an eye out for that. And the Colossal can kind of 2-tap everything on our team with, Earthquake, Knockoff, and, potentially Facade or something like that, depending on his spread and if he's Guts and all that stuff. So we do have to pivot around that thing correctly in order to, potentially take it out and stuff like that. And another big threat is obviously the Mega Diancie. If we let our Kitsuno get too chipped, then that thing can definitely put in a good amount of work with us, especially if he's Baton Pass on his Ninjask. If he passes speed into Diancie, Colossal, Necturna, anything like that, it can be really, really problematic for us to deal with if we do let our team get whittled. So that's something I'm definitely going to keep in mind going into this. Also going into this, I am going to just lead Kitsuno. I have coverage for pretty much everything on his team. Ninjask isn't really a Pokemon. I'm not too scared of that thing defensively, especially when we are a more bulky Kitsuno. We have Earthquake for the Mollux, which usually knocks that thing out. Bullet Punch, obviously, for the Mega Diancie. Colossal can't knock us out with Pursuit from full, so we can just U-turn out on that thing potentially. And Necturna we can hit with a Shadow Strike, and Cyclone we don't do too much damage to, but we can hit it with an Earthquake, or we can just U-turn out because that thing isn't as scary to us either. So yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into the game. So like I said, we're going to lead off Kitsuno as we see that he elects to lead the Mega Diancie. Turn 1, I'm just going to go for a
U-turn really quick, expecting him to switch out and want to save this thing, as he reveals the protect, which is cool, because for him to scout for choice items or potentially get up hazards on, me thinking he's going to switch out, he can just go for the protect. So right here I am going to go for the bullet punch in case he thinks I am choice, as he pivots into the Mollux, and that doesn't take much damage, as he does get a little bit of Black Sludge recovery. Right here I'm going to go for the Earthquake, because it always knocked this thing out from full, from the range it was at, as he pivots into his Ninjask, which is fine, because this is another one I'm not really scared about. He shows us the U-turn right here, and he shows us that he's Life Orb. So this has me thinking that he might not be Speed Pass, he might just be an offensive Ninjask. I'm going to U-turn out myself as he goes into his Colossal, and we do a decent chunk, less than I thought. So this shows that he is running a decent amount of bulk, as he shows us the Flame Orb. This gives the free switch into our Shaman right here, and I'm going to go for an Air Slash just in case he wants to go into his Nocturna so he doesn't get a free switch, as he does pivot into his Mollux though, which isn't a big deal because this thing isn't very threatening offensively to us, especially when we still have our Spadef Nidoqueen in the back and he didn't bring Coco. I'm going to switch that in as he elects to get up his Stealth Rocks. Right here, I'm going to get up Rocks of my own because he definitely doesn't want to take an Earth Power by any means, and I don't think he'll go hard Diancie on the potential Earth Power, so I figured this was my best chance as I go and get those up, as this Ninjask comes in and it goes for a Night Slash turn 1. Takes a little bit of Life Orb recoil, not too much damage to us, as we are able to knock him out with the Flamethrower. So that's very good that we're able to, knock out that Ninjask. If it was potentially Speed Pass, it was pretty scary. He's going to go into Diancie right here, and I'm just going to stay in, and I'm going to let him take the Earth Power, because this was even a max, if he would have needed an absolute max roll in order to potentially knock us out with that. So I was willing to take that risk to knock that thing out, as he does not get the max roll and we get our Eye Pop and go back up. He goes into his Mollux right here, which I am a bit confused about, because that thing always died. I even always kill it after Rocks with Earth Power, even he's max to death, so that thing goes down as well, and Nidoqueen just picked up 3 kills right there like it was absolutely nothing. He's going to go into his Colossal right here, which is definitely scary. I'm going to pivot out to Togekiss, expecting an Earthquake, as we do get that play correct. He's going to take a little bit more burn damage. I'm going to throw off a Defog because I don't expect him to stay in, and everything that I needed to take Rocks took it. So if I could defog these Rocks away for Arzard in the back, it could be very beneficial as he goes into Cyclone. I'm going to pivot into Nidoqueen. He makes a good play and goes for Ice Beam and pulls the Electric move, which is fine though, because we definitely do eat this, and we definitely do outspeed this thing as well. So he's going to switch out into his Colossal as we throw off another Earth Power right here. And right here, I'm totally fine with sacking my Nidoqueen. This thing should outspeed me, just to, get a free switch into something else. As he goes for, as it turns out, we actually outspeed him. So he was running, like, basically max HP. But he's going to go into his Nocturna right here, and I'm not allowing this to set up either. So I am just going to let him take me out with the Shadow Claw. I'm completely fine with that. I wanted to make sure he at least took some chip, like about 50%. So we are going to just go into our Grand Specs. Dark Pulse always knocks this thing out. We're going to knock it out with said Specs. Dark Pulse, get our Battle Bond form as he goes into his Cyclone. In an attempt to save differential right here, I'm going to go into my Shaman, take the Discharge like it's nothing, get essentially back up to full, throw off a couple Earth Powers. You see the first one does 43%, as his Ice Beam right here is going to do 38. So definitely going to be able to beat this thing 1v1. With leftovers plus Earth Power, potential Spadef drops, but we do speed up the process and get a crit right here, which didn't matter in the long run, honestly. It made the game go a little bit faster than it would have, but honestly, with synthesis and stuff like that, we definitely could have outstalled this, and we have stuff in the back to always knock it out afterwards either, as well. So yeah, definitely GG to Blinn. And Nidoqueen put in the finest work versus him. He definitely didn't have many answers to, ground coverage or ground stab or anything like that from, my team. So very happy with this one turned out. We could start off the season 1-0 +5. But yeah, that's going to be the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Later.